Hello, everybody. This is Joe with the Infinite Magic Cast, and I'm joined here by Larry Wynn.
Hey, y'all.
And Nick Edgerly.
Yo.
And Josh Glansman.
What's going on?
So basically what we want to do is start off by talking about the pre-release of Innistrad, and we're going to do kind of a top picks, and obviously the rares are bombs, so we're not going to really spend too much time on that, but we're going to stick with limited here. Little draft, little sealed, and we're going to go through, and we're going to start off by talking about the overall theme of the set, and guys, take it away.
Innistrad seems like it's going to be seems like one of the more flavorful sets we've had in recent memory. It was built with like top down, like designed all the flavor for the set. Before they designed any of the cards, they wanted to make sure they stuck to the horror theme they wanted really well. The limited format seems
very slow.
Yeah, a lot slower than any of the other ones we've had in recent memory. Like, seems more the speed of maybe like the Rise limited format, more than like Zendikar and M12 and things like we've had that recently.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a bear format at all. It seems like grindy, but there's really low removal too. So you're gonna see a lot of the cards like Bloodline Keeper, takeover games, pretty easy.
The longer games though also make it a lot more interesting in the long run. And I mean, it's not very entertaining to lose to a bunch of 2/2s. So being able to play to the 9th, 10th, 11th turn can make it really exciting as well.
This format seems like to be really rewarding for people who understand deck building and who know what they're trying to play against when they build their decks. Like, they know like what the important cards of this format are, and so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go through some of the cards and try and figure that out.
So, speaking of themes, now, when we say themes, do we mean like there's creature types and it's going to be as heavy as like the Lorwyn, or is it more of just an added flavor to the theme? Like, you wouldn't actually pick cards just because it happens to be a human or a werewolf or what have you?
There is definitely synergy within the humans and the werewolves. There's definitely different anthems that can plus your team, but I definitely don't believe it's a tribal theme.
Yeah, you'll see limited games maybe be determined by that once in a while. Like, there's cards like in white, the Priest and the Bonds, where you really have to focus on the tribe because the card can't be good if you're depending on playing against a white-green deck. Bonds is just going to be a pump spell. It's not going to be removal like it would be against a red deck.
Yeah, I think it's like somewhere in the middle. There are times where you're going to have to really consider like what you're playing and what the people around you might be drafting in draft, and you're going to have to consider what spells are worth playing in your main deck and sideboard and how highly you value different things based on creature types, because there are a lot of spells that only affect specific creature types or don't affect other creature types. So like I said before, like being careful with your deck building, like knowing what cards can affect other cards is going to be really important when you're drafting different archetypes or when you're building your sealed deck.
So getting back to talking about like the theme feel, when I looked through the spoiler myself, seeing multicolor cards and then cards that are one color but have a flashback of another color, it kind of took me back to almost like an invasion block type feel. I thought that was interesting. How much of the multicolor do you think is going to come into play for this set?
Well, there's some multicolored cards that are just really amazing. I really like Olivia, and I can really see that being a bomb in limited. As for some of the flashback cards, you really got to see what the value is of trying to get that second color in there. Some of them it might be worth it, and some of them is not good enough to push it. Most
of the flashback cards have a hard time being good enough on their own, excluding the ones that you would see in constructed more, like Forbidden Alchemy, for instance. If you're looking for a bomb, that card's going to be good either way.
So the flashback would just be more of a kind of frosting on the cake rather than, I mean, it's not very playable unless you happen to be in that color already. You wouldn't push for that color because of flashback.
Right. Like, I don't think there are any cards in that I would say I need to be in both colors to play. Like, some of the cards, you either are in both colors or you're not.
I would argue, like, the only one that you need to be in both colors is Feeling of Dread so far. Like, I don't think that's good enough on its own, but I think in white-blue it's really powerful for tempo swinging.
Yeah, there's different cards. Like, Feeling of Dread, like, I wouldn't force myself to be in blue-white if I had that card. I would obviously consider it. Like, you would consider maybe playing maybe an island or two if you could, if your mana base, like, worked with it, just to be able to flash it back if the opportunity came up in a longer game.
Well, in sealed, it's a lot easier to throw one or two islands within your deck in order to help it.